Hey guys, good morning everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. I am Aditya Orange and today we are going to learn about NumPy. So let's look at the table of content before we start. So first is what is NumPy? So let's see. NumPy is a Python package which is used for scientific computing by providing multidimensional array object, various derived objects and collection of routines for fast operation on array, including the following operations. So the important thing here is scientific computing and multidimensional array objects. So basically NumPy is a scientific package, Python package, which we use for doing scientific calculation operations on huge amount of data. So that data is stored in this multidimensional array and the calculation operations are performed using the functions present in NumPy. So that's why it's NumPy, numeric, Python. So they make together NumPy. Second is data types in NumPy. So first we have Boolean. As you have learned in 11, Boolean stands for true or false. So when we use true or false, the data type is Boolean. And then we have for integers int. The numbers following the word int like 8, 16, 32, 64 denotes the size of the variable, like the amount of data it can hold. So 8 stands for 8-bit of storage. So in 1 bit we can store either 0 or 1. So if it was int 1, so we will have like -1 to 0. Like -1 and 0, two values we could store. Or before we look at int, let's look at uint. U stand for unsigned int. Unsigned means no sign. That means not negative. So that implies positive values only. So uint 8 stands for 8-bit, as I said. So 2 power 8 means 256. So 0 to 255. So including 0, we have 256 values. So if we know that our data contains only positive value including 0, so we can use uint and we could store twice the number of data in half the storage. As like if we want to store 250 here in integer, we will need to use int 16. So here we could use int 8 and save space. Similarly, int 16 means 2 power 16, 0 to 265,536. So let's get back to int. Int means positive and negative numbers both. So -120 to 127. So that is 256 values including 0. Similarly, 16, 32, 64 follows the same rules. 2 power 64 values, which is a lot. So you can see here. Same way in uint we have till 64. Now float. Float stands for like floating point numbers, like fractions, decimal. So if we want to store 1.1, so the data type of the variable will be float. Similarly, we have float 16, 32, 64, 128. And here 16, 32, those stands for half precision, single precision, double precision. So here the range does not increase, means it is up to a huge amount, but the increase in digits represent the precision value. So 1.15, then we have another value 1.1567812. So the second one is more precise as we are going down like the fraction part in depth. So that is more precise. So there we will use the higher count data type, like float 32 instead of float 60. So next we also have complex karke data type. Complex data type which is used for storing complex numbers. So complex numbers are like 2 plus 3i or 2 plus 3j, as we have learned in 10th. So 2 plus 3j, 7 minus 8i. I means imaginary, the first part is real. So that also we can use here. So we will see all these in the practical part of this video. So that will be coming a little after we are done with theory part. Next we have NumPy arrays. So NumPy array, that's the important part in NumPy. Main object is the homogeneous multidimensional array. So here homogeneous. Homogeneous means same type of data. So if we have an array, what is array first? Array, like in variable, we can store one value at a time. Array is a data structure which can store multiple values at a time. So we can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all those value at once. Similarly, all those value needs to be of same type, like homogeneous. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not 1.1. So I don't have fractional or point part in between. So or either everything is integer or everything is float or everything is complex. So it is a collection of multiple elements all of the same type. Next we have NumPy arrays versus list. This is an important question as it has been asked in examination many times. So common beginner question is, what is the real difference? So the real difference is list is for convenience and arrays are for performance. So for like the point size, NumPy data structure takes up less space as it is less convenient. I won't say it is convenient. It offers less what we can say function in terms of data management, but in terms of data calculation it is very fast and it is used, it is given priority. So we will see how it is. Lists are convenient and numpys aren't, and numpys are fast, why, and lists are not. So size, it takes up less space. Performance, they have a need for speed and are faster than this. They have a need because the data scientific calculation requires huge amount of data, like millions and like multiple millions of values are stored in an array, and all those complex operation needs to be performed on those values. So that's why the size needs to be less so that we can store data in less space. And performance, it needs to be fast, we need to save time. And functionality, SciPy is another package like NumPy, and they have optimized function for these NumPy arrays. So as I was saying, as you have learned in 11, list data list means the data in list can be stored dynamically. So first you stored one element, then you can later add one more element, now you have two, then again later you can add third element, you can update list, you can update data in this also, but you cannot add elements later on. So like when creating an NumPy array, you had like 3 elements initially, now you cannot add more, so that flexibility you don't have, that flexibility you have in list. So that's why it takes up more size and it is convenient to work with if you're managing data. But you know what data you want to work with, you have all that data in beginning and you want to perform operations, so you use NumPy arrays for that. Next, now the fun part begins, the practical part, creating NumPy arrays and functions on NumPy arrays. So how can we create NumPy arrays? So first, for that we need to switch to Canopy. So Canopy is like Python shell or Anaconda, like these are the programs in which we work. So I recommend you to use Canopy because it is user friendly, beginner friendly, and it is easy to understand, and most importantly it has all the libraries built in, like most of the libraries which you will require to work with. So everything is there, and I hope you guys use this instead of other IDEs. IDE means integrated development environment. So as you can see in the, when you open, you see this. Now I click on editor and it shows this pane. So here we have two part, upper part and lower part, upper pane, lower pane. So as you have learned, Python it is interpreted and scripted both, I think. So in this that is different from this. Oh, I confused the concept. So here we have script mode. The type, this is different from that. That is different. So here we have script mode. Upper part is script mode. The lower part is interactive mode. So you can work in whichever pane you want. So the interactive part, why it is called interactive? Because the moment you are done writing a sentence, you press enter and you see the output. In script part, you have to write all your code and then run. So we will see how it is different. So let's start. So before we use anything regarding NumPy, we have to have NumPy in our working space. So NumPy, how do we import NumPy? So the command is, so I'm using this interactive mode. So import NumPy. So if we write this much is enough, or we can go one more step, as n. As n means I have given NumPy a nickname which is n. So each time whenever I'm using something from the NumPy package, I can use n instead of NumPy. It's like a nickname. So creating an array, how we can create arrays? NumPy arrays. So let's say a equal to n dot array, NumPy array, and in the brackets we give the values 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see whether it will run or not. It gives error because the syntax is wrong. The correct syntax would be, see, the n dot array. Array is a function in which we give value. So the values I have given directly. Value should be given in enclosed in something. So enclosed as a list. Okay. Enclosed as a list. So now it does not give error. So let me increase the font size first. View font large. Wait. Control plus. See here a equal to one more, yes. A equal to n dot array. So before that, import NumPy as n. I've given nickname to the NumPy package. So now here I'm using a NumPy package to create an array. So I have created array NumPy array as a, which has 1, 2, 3, 4 as its value. So when I do print a to see what's inside a, it shows me 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now we have created NumPy array. See, interactive mode, one more benefit is there. You don't need to write print. You can direct write a and you will see what's inside this. See, now there was in the document how we can create NumPy arrays by using data from user, by using other NumPy arrays, by using list, by using tuples. So you know what list are, tuples are, and we just now learned what are NumPy arrays. So let's say using another NumPy array. Let's see, we create a NumPy array B using NumPy array A. So n dot array, it's a function and I'm passing what? Array A to NumPy array B. So now if I say B also has 1, 2, 3, 4. So it took value from A. So now we know how to create NumPy array from user data as I pass 1, 2, 3, 4 and NumPy array B, which is created from NumPy array A. So create a NumPy array created from another NumPy array. Now NumPy array created from a list. How can we create list? List L equal to square bracket. We use square bracket 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Enter. Now L has 4, 5, 6, 7. Now if I use up arrow, we can go back to previous command. So instead of giving A, we use L this time, which is list. Enter. Now B, the variable B is been reassigned to numpy array L, means an array which is created from list L. Now if we see B, the values in B have been changed. So 4, 5, 6, 7. Now it is pointing to a new data which is created from list L. Now let's say B up arrow again. It's a shortcut which you should use. Now creating from a tuple. So first let's create a tuple. T equal to, we can use any name. T equal to tuple and then round brackets. See, we can use like the make tuple like this or another way. I'll show you. You must know before. Already done this. 3 comma 7 6 comma 9. Okay. So that is wrong syntax. Normal way is like T, and in round brackets we give value. So square brackets is for that. What is that? Square brackets for list, and round brackets is for tuple. So 3 5 7. Okay. So now we have a tuple T. How tuple differs from list and numpy array is, tuples once we create it, we cannot change it. So the size, it's not dynamic. So that's how it is different from list. List we can add elements. In tuples we cannot add elements later. It's more like security reasons. Like you want data not to change. So we use tuple there. So the I was showing like tuple this command, why it didn't work. I think, as I said, tuple and round brackets. Then you have to enclose the data in something. Like by giving round brackets, I'm enclosing in tuple. If I gave square brackets, I will be enclosing the data or sending the data as a list inside tuple. Maybe the spelling is wrong. Name is not defined. That's not the main point, but that's how it is. Tuple. What's the spelling? Let's see. TUPP or single P? Yes, single P. Sorry, single P. There is single P. So this should also not work then. Single P without enclosing data didn't work, because we have to enclose data. So keep that in mind. People or student make this mistake a lot of time. So you should keep that in mind. Okay. So whenever you are using a function, in the square, the round brackets are used, and inside round brackets you have to enclose data if you are giving multiple data. Okay. So the main point was creating numpy arrays from list and tuple. Same way, now we have this tuple T. Okay. Now we, instead of giving list, we give T. So now if we see what is B, B is 369. Now we created here list tuple with 369. Didn't give any error, gave error on the next line. So now we know how to create numpy arrays, and we have seen how we can create using different methods, by giving the data directly, by using another numpy array, by using list, by using tuple. Okay. Now next is functions on numpy arrays. Okay. So here this is nd array dot ndim. Nd array is nothing, n-dimensional array. So which is here B or a numpy array simply. And ndim states n dimensional. How many dimensions does this array has? So we can find the dimension of, let's here this B has one dimension. It's one row, one dimension. Let's see how we can find it using this programming. Ndim, it gives 1. Okay. Now a dot ndim, it gives 1. Now next function is shape. Shape is how it is structured. So we can see 369 here. 369 is one row but 3 columns. One row, 3 columns. So it should give 1 comma 3. So B dot shape. Okay, it is given in different 3 comma. So B dot shape, this means each element has 3 values. So here each element, by each element means one row. One row is considered as one element which has 3 elements. So let's create 2D array first. Okay, so how we create 2D array? Same way we create 2D tuple, 2D list. So we will see A equal to, or let's use B equal to n dot array. If we didn't use import numpy as n, we would have to write numpy each time we use this function or any other function from numpy. So that's why it is beneficial to give it a nickname or alias. It is called alias, alias. Alias is like nickname, second name. So numpy array, I am passing data as list. Okay, this is going to be my 2D list. So how you create 2D list? Easily. This is 2D. 2D list is what? One list containing 2 lists inside of it. So this is one list, one enclosing brackets. Inside another, I have 2 lists. Okay. Or means inside one list we have multiple lists or even single list. List inside another list is 2D list. So I have 2 lists. So one 2D is collection of 1D list. So this is first 1D list. We will store here 1, 2. Okay. Let's make it 3, 4. 4 values. Comma another 1D list. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So first 1D list, second 1D list enclosed in one list. So this one list has become a 2D list. Like the outer square brackets, and inside of that 2 1D lists. So if I press enter, no error. So now B, let's see, B equal to C. One list, 1D list. Second, 1D list. Enclosed in a list. So this complete thing together is 2D list. So now getting back to shape. B dot shape. See, 2, 4. Now here we have 2 rows and 4 columns. Okay. 2 rows and 4 columns. There was only one row, that's why I think it didn't show that 1, 3. It showed directly 3. Like one column row is there, then how many columns are there? 3. Now once we increase the row size, it gave 2. So you have to try everything, then only you can know in depth. So next is ND array size. Size is, let's guess, size of the array. Now size in terms of what? Size, how much storage is occupying, or how many elements are there, or whatever. 8. So we have 8 elements. So 8 is our size. I knew this, but to be sure, ND array dot data type, D type. So that gives D type, data type. Let's see what is the data type, default. We can give data type while creating. Data type is int32. See, it didn't use 8 or 16, it used 32. Why not use the maximum one available? Let's see, was it the maximum one available? Int 16, 32, 64 is there. So it chose a midway 16 to be safe. Like if I store some big value, it should be able to fit in the list. So int 32. Next point is item size. Now item is like each element inside the list. Each element, let's see, size of each element. What is the size of each element? In 32, how much each element is taking up space. Item size is 4. So 32 bits 1 byte is 8 bit. So 4 into 8, 32. 32 bits are there for storage, and we have 4 bytes. So now we have reached the end, but there are many more operations, functions left. So we will do all that in the next video. And also in the next video, we will see questions which are normally asked in the examination and how to solve them. Okay, so now if you forgot or didn't understand anything, go through the video one more time, because when I used to learn stuff, I used to go through the videos 5 to 6 times. And if you can do it within 3, that means you're already better than me. So it's simple. Go through the steps and you will be done with it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like the video and subscribe. Thank you.